Hi, and welcome back to Main Street Prowlers. I'm your host, as always, Chris Baker. This past weekend, we played 3 games, 2 at home and 1 away. Before we get things started, I want to congratulate Edric Ederman for getting this past 2 weeks' question right. It was a bit of a difficult one. The answer was it was Mafoos's 500th point this past 2 weekends ago. Congratulations, Mafoos. And let's get off to the races. And the first game played on Friday. It was against our rivals from St. Clair Shores, the Fighting Saints. It was a well-fought game in this one. In the first period, we got off to the early lead. We scored the first goal. Parkhouse got the goal from assisted by Tattern. And then, unfortunately, 5 minutes into the second period, St. Clair Shores tied up the game at 1. Robson would put us up 2-1 about 7 minutes later, assisted by Whitmire. But unfortunately, with less than a minute left in the second period, St. Clair Shores did tie up the game at 2 apiece. In the third period, Parkhouse would put us up 3-2, assisted by Tattern and Whitmire 15 seconds into the third. And Scully would score a minute 20 after to put us up by 4-2, assisted by Tattern and Robertson. The St. Clair Shores Fighting Saints would get their third and final goal of the game 7.5 minutes into the third. And our fifth goal came from Tattern, assisted by Parkhouse and Whitmire 9.5 minutes into the third. Whitmire would get in a goal assisted by Robertson and Scully. And that would put us up 6-3. And our final and seventh goal came from Robson again, assisted by McIntyre. We went on to win the game 7-3 in front of an announced crowd of 770. Tattern would get the third star, Parkhouse would get the second star, and Whitmire would get the first star. This game was a well-fought game, like I said before. There was multiple fights, and unfortunately, due to one of the fights, Pace did get a 3-game suspension. He currently has 1 game left on that suspension, luckily, as of right now. Game 2 of the weekend came on Saturday against the Watertown Wolves. Unfortunately, it would not be that good of a game for us. We lost 6-2 in this game. And our only goals came in the first, when Parkhouse got the first goal of the game for either team, assisted by Tattern and St. Pierre. And then we would tie up the game in the second period, 2-2, when McIntyre scored, assisted by Mafoos and Whitmire. That came in front of an announced crowd of 870. On the plus side, McIntyre did get the second star of the game. In Game 3, we traveled to Cornwall to play the Cornwall Nationals. This was another well-fought game. In the first, Whitmire got the early goal, assisted by Parkhouse and Robertson. We went up 2-0 when Bennett scored, assisted by Scully and Mafoos. Nationals would get the next 2 goals in the first period, but we would end the scoring in the first, bringing up 3-2 when Scully scored, assisted by Whitmire and Parkhouse. In the second period, we went up 4-2, and when Mafoos scored, assisted by Robertson and Beer. Unfortunately, the Nationals would end out the second period scoring, bringing them within 1, and then they would go on to tie the game in the third, 12 minutes and 43 seconds of the game, which brought us into overtime. It was a well-fought overtime, but unfortunately, with 53 seconds left in that period, Cornwall would get the sudden death overtime goal to win it. Unfortunately, we did not get any stars of that game. This week's Main Street Prowlers 3 stars of the game, the 3 stars of the week, are in third, Tattern with 1 goal and 4 assists. In second, Parkhouse with 3 goals and 3 assists. And first would be Whitmire with 2 goals and 5 assists. And current standings as of now. In 7th is St. Clair Shores Fighting Saints with a record of 5-5-0-1 with 16 points. In 6th place is the Watertown Wolves with a record of 5-8-1-0 with 17 points. In 5th is Port Huron with a record of 5-6-1-1 with 18 points. In 4th is Cornwall Nationals with a record of 5-6-2-0 with 19 points. In 3rd is the Berlin River Drivers with a record of 6-6-0-2 with 20 points. In 2nd is the Danbury Whalers with a record of 6-7-1-1 with 21 points. And in 1st we have the Danville Dashers with a record of 10-4-1-1 with 33 points. We do have 2 games this week, but they are both on the road. So we will see the Prowlers back at home, back on the 16th. Also, and for this week's contest, what date did the Main Street Prowlers first episode come out on? Until next time, stay sharp, Prowler Nation.